I'm with Crosskeys after round 3, after the E&G Under-13s Youth Netball Premier League round 3. I think I said that already. Two tough games today. You played Ryland just now, and you also played Magic. Sorry. Two teams are around about the same place as you in the league. All of you are fighting for the top 4. So let's start with Magic. Coming into that game, a bit of a depleted team with injuries and girls being in at national schools events and other stuff. But still, you still had a competitive enough team to give them a good game. But they won the game. Was it more to do with the lack of personnel in the team that meant that you just weren't up for the challenge, or was it just that first game for you just went at the races, you weren't really connecting? What was it?
So basically all of our players had matched before.
Yeah.
They were quite tired about that, and then Kira and I had the Nationals League.
Yeah.
And we had to rush straight from there all the way to here, having to get changed here and stuff, with me being injured.
Yeah.
So and then one of our best players aren't very well.
Yeah.
So it was quite a struggle to get a team together last minute.
Yeah.
But considering all of that, I think we did pretty well.
You did do well, and so expectation-wise, was you just hoping just to do the best you can? Were you thinking about winning games, or were you just thinking kind of let's do the best we can and let's see what kind of happens type of thing? Is that the aim?
We definitely didn't think we were going to win the second one. We just sort of thought we might as well just play our best.
Yeah.
And just go with it.
What position did you play?
Well, she's forgotten.
So
I got attacked.
you played better everywhere, really.
Yeah.
How do you think you performed today?
I think I've done okay. I think I've been better in the second game than the first. But I think I had a good performance.
Kind of got rid of the cobwebs in the first and more confident in the second.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Well, in the first game, you were goalkeeper mostly, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because you were injured.
Yeah.
You're the superstar centre court player. Everyone talks about you. But you've injured your shoulder. You've injured your hip. What was it like playing that position? How were you frustrated looking at that game and thinking I can affect this game, but I'm just too injured to play in that position?
No, I don't really think that. I think that I should have been being goalkeeper sort of stopped them getting goals in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Simple. Going into Ryland. So going into Ryland, who would come into that, before playing you, before coming here today, they were unbeaten. We kind of expected more of a better performance against Magic than against Ryland, but you stayed in the game against Ryland. I think you were 5 points down at one point, but you clawed it back. You got that consistency going within the game, which basically meant the game was goal for goal. I noticed you'd come forward a bit more into goal defence, and personally for me, I think that made a difference in regards to, because you could affect the game more with your passing skills. Am I right or wrong in saying that?
Yeah, sort of right. Me and the goalkeeper worked really well, so we were sort of switching anyway.
Yeah.
We were switching both players when we were against Magic, so basically just moving me forward gave me just an extra third to just be back up, I guess.
Yeah, and going into those last minutes and quarters for the Ryland game, were you nervous? Were you?
I was on the edge. I felt like if we won this, I would feel so relieved afterwards.
Because do you know what? When you're sitting there on the sidelines, it looks relatively easy to shoot. You think, oh, that's easy. But when I go onto the court sometimes when no one's about, I think, I'll have a little quick shot, and it's not as easy as you think. And with the pressure and the spectators and stuff, live stream as well, you're being watched. Again, is it okay? I spoke to another shooter about this. How do you manage that environment? Do you can you hear anything? Do you zone out? How do you approach it?
Well, if I miss a shot, I always reset myself and try and think I'm going to get the next one in. I'm going to reset myself, think differently, not think negatively.
Yeah, and just pick yourself up again type of thing.
Yeah.
So getting that win against Ryland was massive in terms of the league table. Even if you'd have lost those two games, you still would have been in the hunt for the top 4. But not only with that win, you can potentially still get top 3. So you're still there. You've got AP Saints next, who won their 2 games today. So they've got 10 points, you've got 8 points. So potentially you can draw on points with them if you go and get that win. You ever played them before? Do you know anything about them? And with a full team, is that a team you think you can beat?
I think, yeah. I think our whole team's quite strong. We've got everyone without injuries, like when people are unwell.
Yeah.
That's a really strong team.
So, what do you think? End of season prediction. Where do you think you're going to place? Considering there's no injuries and you've got your full team,
We would
3 games to go.
place third.
Do you reckon you're third?
I think third as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Touch wood. Top 4.
I'd love top 4.
Well, you're not in a bad position to get top 4. So well done. Superb second win. That was a massive win for you girls. So well done, and we'll see you again in March.
Thank you.